weren't there yet.
All right, so good evening, everyone. This is Cristina Campbell. I am a nationally registered certified master aromatherapist. I have a bachelor's degree in holistic nutrition. I am not a veterinarian, but over the years, and years is means equals to 21 years with Young Living, I have learned a lot about essential oils and how to use them with pets. And I really want to give some credit to one of my gold members in my organization, Pamela Hyen, because she is the pet person. I'm telling you, if it wasn't for her, I know that single-handedly I could not have been able to present what I'm going to present to you tonight. So, what am I going to present? I will tell you what you're going to learn. You are going to learn that there's not a whole lot of difference between our pets and us as far as we're mammals, unless you're treating a fish, and I say that jokingly but seriously at the same time, so I will elaborate on that later. But they suffer the same ailments that we do: arthritis, heart disease, diabetes, and a lot has to do with the diet that we give them, and we're going to be talking about that. So, so that's something that we're going to cover. Another thing that you're going to learn is how to help support your pet's immune system, because just like us, we need good high immunity in order to overcome many of the things that come to us through the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food that we eat. I'm going to teach you that there is a safe and natural way to protect against viruses, bacteria, and other microbes. I am going to tell you that this class is considered non-compliant, which means that I may be telling you things that the FDA may not agree with, but I feel like you need to know. So if they warn me, they have to warn me first. Then I might cut back, but hey, I'm good because very few of them go through all these YouTube videos. Very few FDA people. They don't have enough of them. We're going to learn about alternative mood elevating and behavioral modification choices. These are things that you can use with your pets that will help modify their behavior. If you're having trouble with maybe shyness, for dog or cat, or aggressiveness in a dog or cat, or they chew on everything. We're going to talk about a few of those things. We're going to talk about pain relief without using harmful drugs and other side effects. I would prefer that you learn to treat your pet naturally before you rush off to the veterinarian for an antibiotic or surgery or biopsy or whatever. That's just my recommendation. I mean, it's your pet. You have to make an intelligent decision. But I was a breeder for 10, 12 years. And one of the things that I wanted to do was to, take the road less traveled. I wanted to use natural things. And 9 times out of 10, I got results, and I didn't have to pay a big vet bill. You're going to learn about oxygenating and supporting the organs with high antioxidant supplementation, and you're going to learn about parasite control without using harmful, toxic chemicals. I used to use a wormer that I would get from the pet section in the pet stores or even the grocery stores. They have it, and feed it to my puppies. And once I learned that there was a natural way, I started using Parafree, and we're going to go through that. So yeah. So our animal friends, Young Living therapeutic grade essential oils can be used on many different kinds of animal species, from the smallest to the largest, including reptiles, birds, fish, and mammals. I have to tell you a little story about a Young Living member who, and she's pretty high up in rank, she had a fish that developed a tumor. It was noticeably, you know, it was there. And it was a goldfish, by the way. And it just had this big bump that it developed. So she put 1 drop of frankincense oil in a 25-gallon water tank and began to watch that tumor shrink over the next few days. And we've used frankincense on fatty tumors for dogs, for actual cancer tumors. On one of my dogs, Millie, she had a cancerous tumor, and we used frankincense on her. And so, you know, we know the research out there on frankincense and myrrh and tsuga and many other of the oils. When I do my cancer class, and I think that class is on my YouTube channel, so make sure you check my YouTube channel. That's Cristina Campbell. And I have many of these classes recorded so that you can listen to them in your spare time. But birds, fish, and mammals. The information in this presentation is based on the use of 100% pure seed to seal essential oils. We can no longer use the word therapeutic grade. We have to use the word seed to seal. We just got that message within the last 30 days, by the way. And it's due to their high quality and tested purity. So the use of a brand of an uncertain quality and or a purity will provide you with potentially dangerous, if not lethal, results, especially in the case of lavender oil purchased from the company called Now. We had that assayed or tested in Chicago in 2001 and found that it was 83% antifreeze. That's propylene glycol, to those who wanted to know the technical term for that, propylene glycol. And it was 17% lavender oil. 17% is far above the FDA's regulatory amount that you have to have in a bottle in order to call it pure, 100% lavender oil. So you only need 5% in the bottle to call it pure. And they had 17. So they met the standard, but it's not pure to me if you adulterate it with antifreeze. Is it pure to you? I would say no. I would shake my head no. Absolutely not. And I know that some of this information is probably a little astounding because you go, how can they get away with that? Well, you know, how do they get away with a lot of stuff, right? So did you know that many animal foods, especially treats, contain propylene glycol, which is antifreeze? So this is compromising your pet every time you give them a treat with propylene glycol. Why would they put antifreeze in a treat? Because it keeps it soft. It keeps it moist and it keeps it soft. So if you're getting some of those soft, you know, treats, not milk bone, but softer treats like the bacon ones or the little sausages, all of those have propylene glycol in them or antifreeze. So be careful. Watch, read the label. It's important that you read the label. If you love your pet, you will read the labels, just like if you love yourself, you'll read the labels on what you eat. So take your animal for a regular veterinarian checkup and proper diagnosis if a natural remedy is not working the way you think it should. I mean, I don't ever want to put a pet in jeopardy. So let's talk a little bit about these seed to seal essential oils and alternative therapies. First of all, how many have heard of raindrop? The raindrop technique. Okay, we got a couple that have heard on the raindrop technique. I know Loretta has because she is a, are you, what do they call you, Loretta? Certified raindrop technician or something to that degree? I don't hear her.
Yes.
Is that what you are?
Yes.
So anybody who wants a raindrop, Loretta is the one to call. And if you want her number, just ask her for it in the chat. Okay. So there are 9 powerful therapeutic grade oils in, there I did, I used that, I need to take that word out of there, in the raindrop. and they're massaged into the spine. And here, this is a picture of Gary Young performing the raindrop technique on a mare. And I was actually at convention when this was being done. It relieves muscular tension. It deeply energizes. It allows the body to detoxify naturally. It balances the body's energy, and it supports the immune and nervous system. It's also been known for humans to correct or kill the virus of scoliosis and kyphosis. So it's really, really good for autoimmune deficiency disorders. If you happen to get the cold or flu, it's awesome for shingles, and the list just goes on and on. But remember, you can do raindrops on your kitties. You can do it on your dogs. I've never known anybody to do one on a bird. However, I have applied frankincense to the chest of a bird when he had respiratory distress, because the owners were actually remodeling the inside of their house, and he was sawing wood in the house, you know, so sawdust was all over, and 2 of their birds got severe respiratory challenges, and we were able to use frankincense to open up those airways and get that bird breathing. And all we used on that little bird's chest was just what I could get on my finger if I tipped the bottle, and then I rubbed it on his chest, and they continued to do that daily. And he cleared up and he was fine. Another thing that's really good is pet reflexology. And I don't know if you know this, but there's a website. There's a website called caninefoot.reflexology.com. I'll put that in. Well, I can't put that in the chat. So just write it down somewhere, or somebody put it in the chat for me, caninefoot.reflexology.com. And this shows you that on the bottom of your pet's paw, cats, dogs, anybody who has a paw, you can press on certain points, just like on your hand or your foot, to increase circulation, improve balance, promote relaxation, decrease pain, and increase energy. So if you have pets and you want to learn a little bit more about, if you have a dog in particular, reflexology, check out caninereflexology.com. Pet aromatherapy is a modality that alleviates anxiety, induces relaxation, boosts the immune system, helps to reduce thunder phobia. And I've had a lot of really good experience with that. And just a note, an animal's sense of smell is up to 1,000 times more powerful than ours. So you don't need as much for them. I was talking to somebody this morning and I said, you know, a couple of drops in a diffuser is all you need. Now, we have a couple of diffusers shown here. One of them is the Lantern Essential Oil Diffuser. You may have the Desert Mist or the Dewdrop diffuser. You could also use the Feathered Owl diffuser. That's a nice little diffuser. It's good for children. It'll be good for pets. And, you know, if you're making a pet environment, the little owl would be just cute. It just came to my mind. I should have put it in this picture. Also, you have the Rainstone diffuser, which actually adds negative ions to the air. And this is really just an added benefit. And it has a remote control, and it has different light colors, as does the Lantern Essential Oil Diffuser. I don't know if you want the colors on for your pets or not. But all you need, if you want to, if they're sick and you want to diffuse in their kennel, or they're in their cage, or their little room on their bed, you might want to put a couple of drops of oil on their bedding, like purification or Digides if their tummy is upset, or RC if they're respiratory, if they're having some respiratory distress, or just diffuse in there. And when you diffuse for you, they're getting the same benefits. So it's just a win-win for the entire family. Pet acupuncture is something that is a great modality. that pairs very well with aromatherapy and Young Living oils, because this too can relieve animal anxiety. So if you're using something like lavender on the acupuncture, if you're using, say, lavender, I'm sorry, I'm still bringing people in, on the acupuncture needles, you're just getting a double whammy. It is really, really effective, much more effective. Pet acupuncture offers a drug-free way to calm your pet, and calming effects can last from days to weeks with pet acupuncture. It improves health with each treatment, it reduces pain, it improves quality of life. And again, using therapeutic grade essential oils will enhance the acupuncture treatment. I have a very good friend of mine who has her own acupuncture studio in Manhattan, and she uses Young Living oils on her needles, and she needles the New York dance, I guess it's a dance team or a dance company. Yeah, it's a company. It's a New York dance company. Thank you. And she was actually showcased on Today, which is a kind of a TV broadcast, you know, in the morning. And she had her Young Living oils there, and she was talking about acupuncture. So acupuncture and essential oils work very well together. Okay, so now that we've talked about other modalities that work very well with essential oils, let's talk about essential oils in general and dilution ratios, how much should be used, and that kind of thing. These are general guidelines. So for small animals, cats and very small dogs, apply 3 to 5 drops diluted, and we're diluting 80 to 90%. So it's going to be 80 to 90% oil mixture per application. Just 3 to 5 drops, and then dilute it in a carrier oil such as V6, which we will be talking about here shortly. If you don't have V6, and V6 is a Young Living product, it has 6 organic vegetable seed oils like grapeseed, sesame seed, sunflower seed, wheat germ, coconut, and olive. You'll see that. And then if you don't have V6, like I was going to say, you can use olive oil. You can use grapeseed oil from your cupboard. You can use coconut oil or sweet almond oil. Any of these fatty oils are what we call carrier oils, and they mix very, very synergistically with the essential oils. So for larger animals like large dogs, horses, calves, you're going to apply 3 to 5 drops neat. And neat is the term that we use when we use the oils straight up out of the bottle. These are undiluted. For large animals like cattle, like, you know, full-grown cows and horses, apply 20 to 30 drops neat per application. And when doing a raindrop technique, like we talked about earlier, that's how many drops you would use. Whereas on a human being, you would use 6 to 10. I think 8 is usually my max. It depends on how long the spine is. So valerian does not build up in the system, and especially not the essential oil valerian, but there have been many people that have said there are certain oils that are not good for pets, and valerian has been one of those. Dr. Melissa Shelton, who is a veterinarian doctor, has stated that valerian actually requires a buildup to be effective for sleep disorders. So you have to use it every day on your pets or even yourself. Okay, so we're trying to get them in still. Okay, so I mentioned V6 mixing oil, and I like this the best because it really does work the best with the essential oils when you're diluting, and this avoids sensitivity. It works synergistically with the essential oils. It's all natural. It's colorless and odorless. It nourishes the skin, and it has a very long shelf life, and it's non-staining. So that's why I use it when I do my raindrops. And it comes in the raindrop kit as well. And again, it contains coconut oil, olive, sesame seed oil, almond, sunflower seed, wheat germ, and grape seed oil. So this is what I recommend, and this is what you can get from Young Living. So where do you apply the oils on pets? Some of the best places is you can apply them on the paws. This is where they absorb very fast. And again, remember we were talking about reflexology on our pets? So there are certain points on the paws that affect certain organs, glands, or systems of the body. However, I always just thought, you know, put it all over the paw, and then that way it's going to hit every system, organ, and gland, right? On cloven hoof animals, apply on the tips of the ears and or the spine. So you can put it on the tips of the ears and or the spine. Underneath the lip or on the gums and tongue. And this is really good for horses. Underneath the lip is a really, really great place for horses. Sprinkle a few drops on the spine and then massage into the skin. The neat thing about dogs and cats is that their hair or their fur is actually tubular. And when you pet the animal with oils on your hands, that fur picks up the aromatic molecules and brings them right into the system. So if you're thinking, oh, my pet's fur is so thick and there's no way that I can get to his spine, no worries. It's going into their system systemically through their hair is different than ours. Their fur is very different. Again, it's tubular and it does pick up that aromatic molecule. So just fun fact. So when you're administering essential oils internally, you can put the oils in a capsule, or you can mix it in with their food or feed, especially if it's, you know, like a horse or a goat. With large animals, the animal's bottom lip can be pulled out and the animal will feel the effect quickly because the capillaries in the lip will carry the oil into the bloodstream immediately. This is the same thing for us. If we take essential oil and we rub it on this inside of the buccal cavity, that's the inside of your cheek, or under your tongue, like when I do digize, it gets absorbed into the bloodstream very readily. So that's just a great place to put essential oils if you're wanting to ingest them. And if you can tolerate, you know, some oils just taste so bad, you don't want to put them in your mouth. So then you might want to put them in a capsule or mix them in with some Nincharad and knock that back. But when treating animals with essential oils internally, make certain the oils are pure, of course, and free of chemicals, solvents, and adulterants. So that's why we just recommend Young Living. We don't want to give them that propylene glycol or antifreeze. Animals that may be jittery or resistant to essential oils, and you may have pets that just aren't warming up to them, apply Peace and Calming or Idaho Balsam Fir or Valor to yourself first. That way, these are more natural scents, and that way they'll warm up to you and then they'll warm up to the oil. And then as you approach the animal, it will react when it smells the aroma. Kneel down or squat beside the animal and remain still for several minutes. As the animal breathes in the fragrances, it will become calmer and easier to manage. Now, this is something that I think is important when we learn about the human body and how we're sharing oils with other people. One of the things that I have always taught is when you are a new oil user, and I've got a bottle of Peace and Calming right here, and it just happens to have a roller ball on it, but say your bottle didn't have a roller ball on it, and your new person or pet is needing to acclimate themselves. I tell the human being to start the bottle of oil at their navel. So It's down here at my navel, and I'm wafting it up. The aromatic molecules are coming up so that I just breathe it in just a tiny bit at a time and bring that oil up to my nose. The same thing is happening when you're wearing an aroma and you're coming up to an animal and you're being very, very slow and quiet and cautious. They're getting used to that fragrance. You know, the last thing you want to do is take a bottle of Thieves and stick it under somebody's nose and say, how do you like that? Because these oils are so strong and so potent that, you know, you're just going to be freaking people out, honestly. And they're not going to want to have anything to do with oils. It's the same thing with animals. If you aggressively go up to a timid animal and you try to apply oils because you're thinking you're doing a good thing, it's freaking them out. It's scaring them. So just be very, very gentle, cautious, patient. And as that animal breathes in the fragrances, it will become calmer, and then it will be easier for you to manage, especially rescue animals. Please think about this. If you are a volunteer to your local rescue, and you know you've got a lot of pets in there that have been severely traumatized, you want to use oils like Trauma Life and wear them. And as you come close to these animals, they're going to get the healing that they need on an emotional level. So this is the way you introduce oils to pets that don't like them. If you've had oils in your house for years and your pet has never warmed up, it may be because you were a little too aggressive on getting them to accept the oils in the first place. So now you have to kind of reverse that, and using some Valor, using some Trauma Life, using some calming oils, and just loving on you and loving your pet, they will begin to get used to these few oils. And then you can work your way up to other oils like Idaho Balsam Fir and many, many others. So treating an injured or sick animal with essential oil. For viral or bacterial infections, arthritis, or bone injury, use the same oils and protocol recommended for humans. And I will go through some of those oils with you. When applying to large open wounds or hard to reach areas, put the oils in a spray bottle and spray them directly on location. In the case of clogged tear ducts, I have a gal who has just recently come into Young Living because her dog had clogged tear ducts. And I knew what I had taught in my babies and children's class on when babies have clogged tear ducts. Taking lavender and just applying it across the bridge of the nose, or in the case of dogs, you can make a spray bottle. Putting a few drops in a small spray bottle, I would say probably about, you know, a 2 ounce spray bottle, 1 or 2 ounce spray bottle, a few drops, and then spraying them. But whatever works gently for you. And I believe that she's already having good results. So I need to get back with her and find out. But I think that's what she said the last time we spoke. Make sure that you don't put essential oils directly in their eyes. You don't want to do that for yourself or your pets. And you don't want to pour essential oils directly in their ears. But for ear mites or ear infections, we use cotton balls and with Melrose or purification. And this will help it helps a lot. It's really beneficial. Make sure that the animal is drinking pure water. I don't know if you know that if you feed your pet tap water, you're feeding them chlorinated water, which will eventually suppress the thyroid and the immune system much quicker in animals because they're smaller than in humans. And it suppresses their healing process as well. So always give your dogs or cats filtered water. maybe you have a filter on your refrigerator. That's the water you should use. Or in the case in our home, we have a whole house water purification system because I'm highly allergic to chlorine. So you want to make sure that you're just always providing pure, clean water for both you and your pets. Quality protein and enzymes are vitally important to promote healing, which makes the use of organic feed essential to maximizing digestion and protein assimilation. If your pet has had hot spots, a lot of scratching, gnawing on them, on their paws, their legs, their tails, this could be due to grain sensitivity. So make sure that you're feeding your dogs grain-free dog food. And the same thing can happen to cats as well. I want to talk specifically about cats and essential oil because there is a lot of stuff written out there that really is talking about essential oils that are adulterated. I will say that caution should be taken when using oils high in phenols, such as oregano, clove, thyme, cinnamon, mountain savory, and tarragon. These oils should be used in high rates of dilution, 1 or 2 drops to a diffuser or 90% diluted. So that's 1 drop of oil to 9 drops of carrier oil. And the diluted oils should be applied to the paws. Watch for signs of the oils being too strong. It might seem like they're, squinting their eyes, or they have some confusion, or they're getting really disoriented or fatigued, look like they're sleepy. They could get sick. But I will tell you that I have never seen this with Young Living essential oils if they're diluted properly. But if it does happen for whatever reason, make sure that you dilute immediately with V6 oil, because that will just cut the active ingredient of that essential oil very quickly. Do you know that cats are just amazing healers? Self-healers. This is kind of a fun fact too. I give a class on emotions, and we talk a lot about frequency, and that the frequency of the spine or bones in general is 47 megahertz. And so is Valor. Valor's frequency, its vibrational frequency is 47 megahertz. Well, a domestic cat actually purrs in the range of 25 to 50 megahertz, which is the exact range associated with healing properties such as bone density. And this research was done on the effects of frequency of mechanical vibration in a Chinese journal. I thought it was really interesting. So if you have bone issues, get a cat and use Valor. There you go. Okay, let's talk about some oils specific now and what we would use these oils for when we're talking about our pets. Frankincense, for one, is highly anti-infectious. It supports the immune system, and it is a favorite for small pets and birds. And remember, I told you about the respiratory issue for the, I think it was either a parrot or a cockatiel. It was a large bird, and it had gotten some sawdust in its lungs, and we used frankincense, and over about a few days, it had relief. Used for wounds and tumors, and I mentioned that in when we talked about cancer. And it's antifungal, antibacterial, and antiviral. And dilution for very small pets and birds is always recommended. Dr. Kim Bloomer, who is a veterinarian naturopath, we did a lot of training together back in the day. She states that frankincense is a staple in their clinic. So they use it often, and you should have frankincense available often for your pet. It says dilute and use around the eye to relieve eye infections. You can diffuse this, you can dilute it, and you can tip the ears or massage your pet with frankincense. The next oil we're going to talk about is lavender. And of course, lavender is called the Swiss Army knife of oils because it promotes healing for cuts and scrapes and skin problems, hot spots. I'll either use lavender or purification. Love purification in a spray bottle when my dog's got hot spots. It's gentle and it's the #1 first aid treatment. It makes the coat shine and it repels fleas and other insects, as does purification. It calms and reduces anxiety. So if you've got one of those shy dogs, one of those dogs that's nervous and shakes, you need to be putting lavender on the palms, on the tips, on their palms, on their paws, on the tips of the ears, and massage them with them. To put a couple of drops of lavender and a couple of drops of V6, and then just rub their coat. It'll make their coat shine. It'll make them feel so good. It's very uplifting, and make this part of your animal emergency kit. This is something you can do for your pets every day. Oils to the rescue. Having multiple dogs, 14 or so, and occasional puppies that attend the dog shows and doggy school on a weekly basis, we always worry about their health. We diffuse lavender for a calming effect, and also it smells really pleasant for people that work for Mrs. York. Calm staff, calm dogs. And this was written by Susanna Kiesler. She says, our dogs used to get ear infections, so we started diffusing thieves oil blend every morning in the kennel. As a result, our dogs have not suffered from ear infections. So this is just a good testimonial telling you how you can use these oils with your dogs. Lemongrass is another really great oil to use with connective tissue issues. It regenerates connective tissue. I know for human beings, we talk about rotator cuff injuries and lemongrass. Use this on torn ligaments, muscles. It's also highly antifungal. It's anti-inflammatory. It repels fleas and other insects. It calms and reduces anxiety, and it improves circulation. This is a great one to, you could mix a blend. Just put a couple of drops of lavender, a couple of drops of lemongrass, a couple of drops of frankincense, put a couple of drops of V6, and pet your dog, with your hands, or put a drop or two on their paw. Do this every day. They won't have fungal problems. They won't have compromised ligaments or tissues unless they've had an accident, and then you're going to use it aggressively to begin the healing process for them. Oh, this is my girlfriend's dog. Abby is no longer with us. This was written quite a few years ago. I started teaching this class, I think, back in 2007. And we were gathering testimonials for that. And this was Cherie Williams, who now lives in Hot Springs, Arkansas, but she was living in Belleville. She was one of my best friends at the time. And she had a beautiful big Sheltie. Her name was Abby. And Abby just couldn't get up. So they rushed her to the vet, and after her exam and her x-rays, they were told that her tendons and ligaments that were holding her right kneecap in place were torn, causing her kneecap to slip. She would need surgery to correct it, and the vet gave her an anti-inflammatory medication and said to give it to her for a week and then bring her back and he would schedule the surgery. Well, Cherie is a nurse too, by the way, and she knew that she didn't want to have Abby get surgery if she could help it. So she started using lemongrass on her knee and her leg 3 times a day. She would massage it in well, and then she would wrap it with an ace bandage, and Abby would keep that on all night. After 3 days, she was up and running around. After a week, we took her back to the vet for her follow-up. He couldn't believe that she was walking as well as she was. He said, the anti-inflammatory pills really worked well. And I handed him the bottle of pills and told him that I hadn't used them. And that would be Cherie. He wanted to know what I did. And I told him that I used Young Living's lemongrass essential oil. He x-rayed her knee again and could see where the tendons and ligaments were healing. The vet couldn't believe the change between the two x-rays. No surgery, thanks to lemongrass. Lemongrass became Abby's oil, and every time I would open the bottle, she would come running and lay down for me to rub her with it. And that's how they really get used to the oils and love the oils just like we do. Panaway is another great oil to have in your animal's emergency kit. It's good for arthritis, rheumatism, tendonitis, inflammation of bones, broken bones, muscles, and joints. I call it the bone healing blend. It accelerates healing because it has peppermint in it, which brings blood to the area. So that's going to bring those white blood cells in there. It's going to bring the healthy new blood in. It's going to take out the bad blood, and it's going to help to heal. It's an analgesic because it has clove in it, and clove is a natural analgesic. So this is good for acute injury pain, for anything like a dental extraction or post-surgery. Use it topically to kill the pain where there is no open raw tissue. If you do put it on where there's raw tissue, that clove oil is going to sting. So put it around the raw tissue where it can go into that little bit of muscle and get into the bloodstream and then heal that way. Don't drop it right into a wound. Now you can do that with frankincense or lavender. Frankincense or lavender will not sting, but in some cases Panaway will. It's a powerful anti-inflammatory. It's important to put in with your emergency kit. Mix this with V6 and massage the affected area. It's going to be like a muscle rub on steroids. It's going to be awesome. Do not apply Panaway to the open wound, like I said, because it will sting and traumatize them. Instead, use heliocrisum and balsam fir in the wound to reduce bleeding and pain. If you have a bleeding wound, you want to immediately put heliocrisum in there. Heliocrisum will stop the bleeding right away. Peace and Calming is another great one. This is a calming blend. It's used for abused and neglected animals. If you are having the arrival of a new animal or a baby into the family, make sure you're using Peace and Calming, because the former pet, or the pet that's run the household up to this point, is going to go through some anxiety when that new animal or that new baby comes into the home. So make sure you're lovingly applying Peace and Calming to relax it and promote peace and a quiet spirit with your pet. You can diffuse it. You can put it drops on their collar, especially if they have a cloth or leather collar. This is perfect. You can put it on their blanket, in their bed, on their toy, just to help relieve some fear and anxiety. And you can use it with behavioral problems like overexcitement when they're traveling or if somebody comes to the door. So make sure you have maybe a spritzer bottle of Peace and Calming. And when somebody comes to the door, just spray them a little bit and rub them down before you answer the door, because you know that they're going to get nervous. You can diffuse this one. You can tip their ears with it. And Peace and Calming is a blend of tangerine, ylang-ylang, blue tansy, orange, and patchouli. Peppermint oil. Peppermint oil is a must for all of us. It repels fleas and ticks, but it also relieves nausea, vomiting, and motion sickness. It cools and invigorates the skin for overheated horses and dogs. I used to drop it into the water in the summer. You can put some ice cubes in that water. Dogs love that too. And when they drink the water, only one drop. Don't put drops. If I said drops, I apologize. Drop one drop into their water. And then when they drink it, it's going to cool their whole system. It's supportive to the respiratory system. So it's something that you might want to rub on their chest. If they're having trouble breathing, you need to open up their airways. It's an analgesic and it's non-infectious for acute injuries. Dilute this oil when using on cats and other very small animals. Okay. This is a great testimonial. This was sent to us by Rebecca Preston out of Anna Maria Island in Florida. And she was talking about a little 1 pound Chihuahua by the name of Gus that she had adopted when he was 8 weeks old. He had severe kennel cough 24 hours a day, and he couldn't sleep. She said, I applied peppermint to my hands and I petted him from the neck down over the course of 2 days. In 24 hours, the cough was clearly sporadic rather than constant. And by the second day, it was completely gone. And Gus was sleeping through the night. That's an incredibly powerful testimonial. And the power of thieves for preventing kennel cough in a kennel is even more astounding. Thieves is excellent for cleaning kennels, for shelter settings, for stables, and pet areas. It has the strongest anti-infectious essential oil, antifungal, antibacterial, and antiviral. It's an analgesic and it's specific to dental problems. And I cannot wait to tell you about Whitey the cat and her dental problems. It's anti-parasitic, especially for ticks, and use on all pets with proper dilution. Use in diffusion, use it on topically, oral applications. You can use it in raindrop or VitaFlex techniques. And you can use a Thieves household cleaner to clean everything that's pet related. Thieves contains clove, lemon, cinnamon bark, eucalyptus radiata, and rosemary. So let me tell you about Whitey. So this testimonial was from Pam, who helped me with this presentation back in the day. And her cat Whitey recently had a bad infection in the gum around his molars on both sides. So she took 3 drops of Thieves and diluted it in about 6 tablespoons of V6. Look at the dilution ratio here. I dipped a Q-tip into the mix and swabbed the gum area twice a day for about a week. He is eating again with no discomfort whatsoever, and the infection is gone. Now, Whitey was a very old cat, so this can happen to our elderly animals. Their immune system gets compromised. They might get something stuck up there. We need to just gently apply the Thieves. Thieves worked perfectly, she says. And Dee Broughton of Sandy Stun, New Jersey, said, I would recommend Thieves oil for any kind of infection, including kennel cough, pneumonia, upper respiratory infections, and the canine flu. Highly recommended. Thieves is great. I've mentioned purification a couple of times. We do have an Animal Sense line of essential oils for pets that work similarly. But I look at it this way. If you're going to buy the oils for you, why not be able to use them for you and your pets? But those pets, the Animal Sense oils like Pure, I think it's Pure Clean. And I think I have the list here at the back end of this. But all of these oils, they've been diluted already. Whereas for, purification is pure essential oil. So you have to dilute it. So if you want them already diluted, then the Animal Sense collection is one that you might want to look into. But purification specifically kills odors, bacteria, molds, and funguses. It kills anaerobic bacteria, which requires little or no oxygen. And so it's great for deep tissue and organs. It purifies and cleanses bacteria in the air. It neutralizes odors in general pet areas and noxious litter box odors. We used to put just drops of purification in my daughter's litter box. She had, I think, 2 or 3 cats, and that litter box was more than I could handle. I don't have cats in my home, and so it's not some aroma that I am partial to. So I told her, put purification in your litter box, and it worked amazingly. It repels bugs and insects and relieves itching from insect bites. Also neutralizes those hot spots that we talked about earlier. You can use purification to sterilize wounds. It's great in the laundry when you're washing their bedding or their blankets or their towels, because it's really getting that animal scent out, and you know how things can smell doggy after a while. So using purification in your Thieves laundry soap, which is just a double whammy, it's a good choice. It also neutralizes poison from stinging bees, wasps, hornets, horsefly bites, and brown recluse spider bites. So if your dog or yourself gets bit by anything in the summer, grab your purification. You can dilute it with V6 to clean smelly ears and kill mites. And I was talking about that a little bit earlier. I love purification for that. Purification has lemongrass, rosemary, melaleuca, which is commonly known as tea tree, myrtle, citronella, and lavandin, which is a type of lavender. RC blend is also a really great blend for anything respiratory. It supports the respiratory system, it's antiseptic, it relieves allergies, it combats lung infections, it decongests the sinuses, and little known fact, but very, very true, it will dissolve bone spurs. Now, I know that because I had a bone spur on the bottom of my heel, kind of in the center of my heel, when I was in the Army and wore combat boots all the time. When I started using Young Living and heard that RC was good for bone spurs, I immediately started applying it morning and night, before I put my boots on, when I took my boots off, and before I went to bed at night. And within a matter of weeks, like 2 or 3 weeks, I had no bone spur. It literally dissolves the bone spur. So it contains Eucalyptus globulus, Eucalyptus radiata, Eucalyptus citrodora, myrtle, pine, spruce, marjoram, which is good for smooth muscle as well, lavender, cypress, which increases circulation, and peppermint. Great oil, wouldn't be without RC ever. I've been diffusing it every so often in my bedroom. It's hard to choose what I want to diffuse every night. I'll go on a rant and I'll diffuse the same thing for 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'll mix it up. And then I'll just do one night eucalyptus or one night RC. So I'm just constantly rotating my oils through my bedroom diffuser. Valor is another really great essential oil known as a chiropractor in a bottle. If you have any type of structural misalignment, and this happens a lot with German Shepherds, they get hip dysplasia. Even as a puppy, you should start using Valor on them to keep that the structural integrity. It's really important for us. I have developed a habit now of putting Valor on the bottom of my feet at night. And it is seconds after I get into bed that when I turn, I will self-adjust. Now I go to the chiropractor once a week anyway. And so I'm, adjusted by someone else effectively once a week. But I still, with walking 5 miles a day, I still get out of alignment or must jar something. And Valor will just snap everything back in place. It's amazing. It's very effective for restoring confidence and bravery. If you want to give a class and you're getting a little nervous about sharing Young Living with somebody, put a little Valor on, breathe it in. In fact, I think I have my Valor here somewhere. I have so many oils sitting around here. I don't know where it is, but I thought I had it right here. But yeah, just put a drop or two. But I'm never nervous about teaching a class. This is my passion. This is what God has called me to do. So yeah, I'm just doing it to the best of my ability. Please, you can place drops of Valor on their collar or on their leash. You can diffuse it. I prefer to use Valor topically. Put it on their paws. Tip their ears with it. And drop on a cotton ball and place it in areas, like their blankets or toys. Used for skin masses, itching, allergies, and to alleviate fear. So Valor may work for thunder phobia, but I will tell you, if you have a bigger dog, and I had an Aussie at one time, and he was a 2-time shelter dog who had been over-inoculated. And this is what causes that thunderphobia is over-inoculations. That's why I'm a big believer in titer, which is they test the blood of your animal. The veterinarian tests the blood of your animal and can tell you how long they can go, how many years they can go without having to have another rabies shot. Because if you give some dogs a rabies shot every single year, it will eventually affect their neurological system, yeah, this is being recorded. Sorry, I was just disrupted. And I lost my train of thought. I'm good. So, thunderphobia. And so anyway, over-inoculations can cause neurological disorders. That's where I was. Thank you. Also, I had to use Trauma Life on Merlin. He was my Aussie. And that really, really worked well because he, like I said, he was over-inoculated and it was crazy. He would go absolutely berserk. And with Trauma Life, he would just lay down on the floor and sleep. It was great. It was wonderful because I didn't like to put him through that traumatic distress. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about supplements for our healthy active pets. We're going to start out with an essential oil again, and that's Digize. And Digize helps relieve hairballs in cats, constipation in all of our animals, intestinal parasites, and tapeworms. So I mentioned that I quit using parasitics when I found Young Living and started using Young Living. Digize was one of them. Parafree, I would give my dogs Parafree every month. Just one big capsule of Parafree. This promotes healthy digestion. Sometimes you get those little dogs like pugs or whatever, and they're really gassy. Certain dogs are more gassy than others. And if you have a gassy dog, get some Digize and rub it on their belly. And it will just calm that right down. It soothes the stomach, and of course it does for us as well. And this also should be part of your animal emergency kit. You can also mix 1 drop with tuna and its juice and feed it to a cat if they're having digestive issues, or if you want to worm them. Mix in the food for dogs or rub daily on the pads or paws. It contains fennel, tarragon, ginger, peppermint, juniper, lemongrass, anise, and patchouli. Excuse me. BLM is something we use here in our house to support our bones, ligaments, and muscles. But you can also use it for your pets, for your horses, for your cattle, for your dogs. But do not use BLM in the powder form. Only use the capsules, as the powder form contains xylitol, which is toxic to some animals. You may not have known that. But what BLM does is it builds bones and it speeds healing of bones. It strengthens and builds damaged joints and cartilage. So again, if you're thinking that your dog is getting hip dysplasia, start feeding it BLM. It combats arthritis, inflammation, pain, and it contains glucosamine. So the maintenance level of BLM is on the bottle for an average weighted 150 to 180 pound person. So just use, that information accordingly. If you have a 50-pound dog, then maybe 1/4 of a capsule or half of a capsule is all you need. And so a half a capsule in their food each time you feed them. That would be perfect. Here's Trauma Life, excellent for abused and neglected animals who experience separation and anxiety, especially thunderphobia or fear of storms. Any injury or accident, anything that pet has been traumatized by, use Trauma Life. I know even with loss of a loved one, when my granddaughter was murdered, I never let go of my Trauma Life, probably for days. And we need this for emotional support. So just remember, if you're going through that type of grief or trauma, have your Trauma Life right there. And I mean, I never let it go. I had it in my hand all the time, everywhere I went. I would just breathe it in, and just, deal with the grief, deal with the trauma. This is a must-have. This, you can also use this for pre and post surgical procedures, like spay. When you get your cat spayed or your or dog spayed or neutered. So it contains valerian, lavender, frankincense, sandalwood, rose, helichrysum, spruce geranium, davana, and citrus hystrix. Essential Zyme is another supplement that we recommend for aiding in digestion. If your animal has constipation or diarrhea, maybe it's beginning to get some kind of intestinal inflammation, we need enzymes. And Essential Zyme is hands down the best enzyme you can get. It eliminates toxic waste and gases in the digestive system. It helps to break down proteins, and it establishes a proper enzyme balance in their gut. It improves intestinal flora, and you can break a capsule in half, adjust it to the size of an animal, or one capsule. For human beings, take 2 capsules before meals. 30 minutes before a meal is ideal, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to remember when you're eating your meal, oh, I didn't take my Essential Zyme, and then you're going to run and get your Essential Zyme and take it. If you remember after your meal, take it then, especially if you've eaten a large meal or it's heavy in protein. It's imperative that you take your Essential Zyme. The human body has been so depleted in natural enzymes. It used to be after the age of 30. Now it's coming down to after the age of 20. And again, it's because of the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food that we eat. It's contaminated. It's not the best that we've had in the last 50 years. And we just have to supplement. We really need to supplement. K&B supports kidney and bladder function. Unfortunately, we have been out of K&B for quite some time, but I want to introduce you to K&B because I want you to be aware that any urinary tract infection, any kind of bladder issue or kidney weakness, you need K&B. I was able to get my mother off of dialysis. After being on dialysis for 2.5 years, she followed a protocol that I had recommended, which included K&B. When it comes back in stock, I'm just going to give you this heads up. When it comes back in stock, get a stash, put it in your refrigerator, and keep it there, because if you ever get a urinary tract infection or anything like that, or know that your pet has had, maybe a reoccurring in this area, you'll have it. Because so many people have been begging for K&B to come back. And I think it's just because there's something in there, a natural product that we are not able to get right now. So fingers crossed and prayers that we get K&B back soon. It's also a mild diuretic. It purifies the urinary tract, and it's great for any kind of infection. Rehemagen is in stock, and this is great for cleansing and purifying and disinfecting and building the blood. I highly recommend this for anyone who wants to do a blood cleansing. I do a lot of cleanse classes, detox classes, and this is my rule of thumb. First, you do a colon cleanse. Then you do a liver cleanse, liver gallbladder cleanse. Then you do a parasite cleanse. Then you do Rehemagen, because now I'm doing my blood cleanser. But you never want to do a liver cleanse before a colon cleanse, because you're dumping a dirty liver into an already dirty colon. So see how by cleaning the bigger pipeline, then the other things can flow through and get cleaned out. And Rehemagen is really, really great once you've done a cleanse. It's powerful liver and gallbladder protectant, and it supports the pancreas and the stomach. It stimulates the adrenal glands. And usually if we have had chronic illness or chronic trauma, our adrenals have taken a toll. So a couple of things to support those adrenals, both for your pets and for you, is not only Rehemagen, but nutmeg essential oil over the adrenals, and or Magnify Your Purpose, because Magnify Your Purpose has nutmeg in it. And these are very, very supportive to the adrenals. It increases energy, it's antifungal, it prevents cellular mutation. And this is important. Anytime we get rogue mutated cells, we've got a problem. Houston, we've got a problem. So we want to keep our bodies in a regulated, balanced homeostasis. And one of the things is by taking Rehemagen. It combats circulatory dysfunction as well. All you do is you mix a few drops in distilled water, or dilute it in Ningxia Red and orange juice, somewhere where you tolerate it. Gary said, I didn't make this stuff, this was years ago. I didn't make this stuff to taste good. I made this stuff to work. Sulfurzyme is another thing that if you have a dog with arthritis, any kind of hip joint pain, chronic pain in general, the sulfurzyme is a must. You can either sprinkle it over their food, or you can, it comes in capsules. You can give them a capsule. It supports a healthy immune system. I take sulfurzyme every day. And I will tell you straight up, I take 5 in the morning and 5 at night. And because I do a lot of walking, exercise, 5 miles a day, and I'm not as young as I used to be, I'm 67, I need sulfurzyme to support my joints. And so sulfurzyme it is. It also, and Eileen, she's sitting here right with me. This is my niece. She's only 23. And she's got creaky joints in her knees. And I said, you need to take sulfurzyme. So she started taking it in an Ningxia Red, and she takes the powder and she likes it. Yeah. Yeah, it'll give your pet a shiny coat. It will reduce inflammation. Deer love sulfurzyme. Sulfurzyme is a natural, MSM actually is a natural product that comes from wood. And so animals know how good this stuff is. And it took us humans a while to figure it out. Again, it'll relieve arthritic discomfort, enhances skin, hair growth and thickness. If you have a dog that is losing its fur because of a thyroid condition, not only give them Thyromin, but give them sulfurzyme as well. It also helps with healthy nails and healthy, and healthy skin. It's suggested for pre-diabetes along with coriander and or ocotea. Other oils that are good for diabetes are fennel and dill. They're good for diabetes as well. Give your dog a probiotic, and Life 5 is a great one to give them. A half a capsule is probably all you need in their food. It promotes immunity. It aids in resisting infections. It improves digestion, and it colonizes the gut with that friendly bacteria. There are actually, I think, 10,000, 8 different, you know what? I don't have the facts on this slide, and I'm not remembering the exact billions of bacteria, live bacteria that are in Life 9. I will tell you that this is the best time to buy Life 9 because it's cold and none of the live bacteria will die. So you can buy enough to last you through the summer next year and just keep it in your fridge and it'll be good. That's what I do. That's why I have multiple bottles of Life 9 in my refrigerator, because I buy it in the winter time and then I don't have to buy it in the summer and take the risk of having it go bad. Omega Gize is also good. This is your omega 3 fish oil. This promotes healthy skin, supports the nervous system and cardiovascular system. It improves eye, brain, and joint health. And anything that I'm saying that it does about your pet, it will do for you. Just remember, if you're taking this for yourself, give it to your pet. It will improve your eye, brain, and joint health, and theirs as well. It's enteric coated and yields 3 times the absorption rate. It's much more specific for carnivores than flaxseed oils. So your cats will love it. Your dogs will love it. So Omega Gize is a really great essential fatty acid. Omega-3, excuse me. Multigreens. Multigreens is something I wouldn't be without, and I used to feed my dogs this as well. I would literally just open a capsule of multigreens and put it in their food. It helps maintain high energy level, especially for elderly dogs. It boosts their vitality. It relieves their stress. It strengthens their immune system. And it's really a powerful cleansing and antioxidant supplement. It prevents thyroid hormone deficiency and estrogen imbalance. Sprinkle it on their food. Animal Sense ointment, I wouldn't be without it for me, but I'll tell you, it was wonderful when I tell you the story about my dog, Theo. Animal Sense seals and disinfects open wounds. It seals in essential oils. So if you've got an open wound and you're putting lavender or frankincense in it, you want to seal that in with Animal Sense so that you don't lose the aromatic properties or the therapeutic properties of that oil by it flashing off. It's a soothing salve. It's great for external use, even just for chapped lips, for dry skin, for hard paws. Put it on their paws before they go to bed at night, and those paws will get much softer. It's for external use. We've never ingested Animal Sense. We have put Animal Sense in our noses for what we call a nose swipe. And this is Animal Sense mixed with Exodus 2 essential oil blend and Egyptian Gold essential oil blend. And then you just swipe the inside of your nose, and it prevents breathing in bacteria, viruses, or anything yucky out there. Animal Sense assists with post-surgery healing, and it's good for nursing mothers with sore or inflamed teats. It contains the essential oils of palmarosa, geranium, patchouli, Idaho balsam fir, tea tree, myrrh, and rosewood. Phenomenal ointment for anybody's dry skin patches, hot spots, you name it. I love Animal Sense. So this is my story on saving Theo. Theo was one of the best dogs we ever had. I told you I was a breeder for about 12 years, and I bred British Shelties because we were stationed in England in 1990 to 1994. So our babies came from England, and then we bred here in Belleville for another 6 or 7 years. But Theo was just the best dog ever, and he had gotten bit. We think he had gotten bit because I saw 2 holes at the root of his tail and on his back. So it could have been a possum, it could have been a raccoon, but by the time we realized that he had been bitten, the wound needed to be cleaned by a veterinarian. It was literally, the skin had come away from, the fur had come away from the skin. It was seriously infected. I mean, I don't know how we missed it, but he had a lot of fur and he never acted like anything was wrong. So I don't know, but the size of the wound on his back was about the size of a small dinner plate. So I'm saying about this large. Now Theo weighed about 50 pounds. So if you can kind of get a point of reference for that. I had asked my vet about skin grafting. I was just beside myself, truly. As the vet had said, he couldn't stitch the wound together because his belly would have, the weight of his belly would have pulled those stitches out. We tried to do the grafting. I paid, I don't know, hundreds of dollars to have the graft flown in. My vet put the skin graft in, and it didn't take. In other words, the graft died. It was supposed to be live tissue, and it was just a waste. So the vet wanted to put him down. And I said, no, I'm going to treat him at home with my essential oils. So this is what I did. First of all, I called my girlfriend Cherie, the one with Abby, the knee ligament problem, because she was a nurse and I was real squeamish about this. I can teach all day, but don't make me, deal with a wound. We're all just really different, right? And so we got him a cone and we started cleaning the wound 3 times a day with a saline from, Walgreens. And in that saline solution, I put helichrysum, lemongrass, melrose. I would put other oils in there. I would put anything in that I knew was good for tissue, for healing, that wasn't going to burn. I knew that helichrysum was good for nerve damage. And I could tell because the wound was so big. They had cleaned the wound, but it was so large that he actually probably didn't have any feeling there. I would smear, so I would clean it really good with that. It had like a tiny nozzle on the bottle, and so it would kind of irrigate that area real good and get all that dead stuff out of there. And then I took a baby diaper and I would just coat it with animal scents, and I would place that over the wound. But what was really funny and why I'm laughing is Theo wore a girl's size 10 bathing suit with the front legs in the armholes to hold the baby diaper in place. And I was very conscientious of his feelings. So I got a blue bathing suit with silver stars on it. So I called him General Theo while he had to wear this baby diaper. And I actually had to pin the baby diaper on the inside of the swimming suit. And then I put the swimming suit on. And then I cut a hole in the belly portion of the swimming suit so that he could do what he needed to do, right? Go to the bathroom and all that. And then I washed the bathing suit frequently, trust me. So the dressing was changed 3 times a day. I actually had to come home from work back in the day, change the dressing, let him out, and then, so morning, noon, and night. I did that for about 3 months. It got down to 2 times a day, and then I could change the wound the dressing 1 time a day, but it took 3 months for complete healing. I'm going to tell you, the scar was the size of a $50. It was about that big. It wasn't any bigger than that. And that was where the fur wouldn't grow. And of course, because he had so much fur, I could just comb that fur over. I'm telling you, these oils heal. It was simply miraculous. It was one of my first huge, medical treatment things in my own home, right? I'm so grateful every day for these wonderful healing oils. And I just want you to know you can trust this stuff. Very quickly, I know that this is a long class because there's so much to talk about with our pets, but fleas, ticks, and parasites, I want to talk about most products out there contain neurotoxins and cancer-causing ingredients, which can cause kidney damage, alter thyroid function, and affect behavior. Natural prevention comes in the form of good health, diet, removing environmental and internal toxins. A healthy animal is not an attractive host to any parasite and is the first step to controlling parasites. That's why you want to be very, very particular about filtered water and grain-free organic food for your pet. Essential oils can help your pet repel pests and improve health at the same time. These popular flea collars often contain powerful nerve gases. They can kill some fleas, but they can also kill some pets and have been known to kill small dogs and harm children and adults who handle the pets wearing the poisonous flea collars. Be aware. We have an animal scent shampoo that cleans all types of animal fur and hair. It conditions, it repels insects, it protects the skin and the coat. It rids the hair of lice, ticks, and other insects because it has these repelling oils in it, but yet it smells really good. It's safe and all natural and effective and leaves the coat shiny and has a pleasant smell. And here's that Parafree that I mentioned. This is actually a parasite control supplement. It dispels worms and parasites in our animals and in humans. It has the protocol for human parasite cleanse, both in the essential oil desk reference and on the bottle. It maintains healthy internal environment, supports natural defense systems, and internal cleansing. I'm almost done, guys. I don't know if you knew, but Ningxia Red is good for your pets. And Kim Bloomer, who is that veterinary holistic naturopath, she highly recommends Ningxia Red for her dogs and pets. Anybody with any pet with a chronic disease, give them Ningxia Wolfberry. Give them the Ningxia Red. It is incredible. It's got oils in it. It supports the cardiovascular system. It supports their eyesight. It's great anti-cancer properties. I wouldn't be without my Ningxia Red. I gave it to my dogs when they started getting older, just for cognitive health, and everything else involved in their health. Same reason I take it. So your healthy pet plan, first of all, you want to receive your wholesale membership. And the way that we receive our wholesale membership is by getting a Young Living premium starter kit. This is really the best way. A thieves kit would be great to start with your pets because you can clean with the thieves cleaner, you can use the thieves oil, but you don't get a diffuser. And I think it's really important that we diffuse daily in our homes and around our pets. So this is really a very, very good value. You get 12 bottles of oil, 2 packs of Ningxia Red. They were giving some thieves cleaner. They're not anymore. They're giving the thieves spray and the thieves hand sanitizer. But you can always add the thieves cleaner to your order and get on monthly orders. This is just a great way to get started. So step one is getting your premium starter kit. And if you are not a Young Living member yet, please get with the person that invited you to this class. They are going to explain to you step by step, lovingly, how easy it is to get 24% off of all of these oils that we've talked about. It's just the best value ever. Step 2 is to enroll in your healthy pet plan with the Essential Rewards or loyalty program. You're going to earn percentages back on everything you purchase through a monthly pet wellness box. So you can get pet chews, dental chews through Young Living. You can get toothpaste for your dogs if you brush your dog's teeth. I used to. You can get, your oil supply, your supplement supply, all on your Essential Rewards. Earning 10% back in the first 3 months on Essential Rewards. After 3 months, that goes up to 20% back rebate, which you can spend on most all of Young Living's products. And then after 24 months, it goes up to 25% on your monthly shipments. Enjoy reduced shipping. Actually, if your order is 100 PV or more, you're going to get free shipping on anything you buy, whether it's a shop order or an Essential Rewards order. This way, you're not going to run out of product. You'll have that shampoo. You'll have that animal scents. And here are some essential reward suggestions. Have Trauma Life on hand in case something traumatic happens to you or your pet. Have DiGis. You're going to get DiGis in your premium starter kit, but who knows? You might want to have a separate pet emergency kit on the side. Have a bottle of DiGis in there. Get that sulfurzymes for those pets that might have some arthritis or joint discomfort. So that would be one essential rewards order. Another essential rewards order might include adding a couple of bottles of Ningxia Red, some V6, some multigreens, and some animal scent shampoo. And for your third month, you might want to get some Parafree, some lemongrass, because that does not come in your premium starter kit, and some animal scents ointment. A few educational tools and resources that I highly recommend is the Young Living Animal Desk Reference, which can be purchased at discoverlsp.com. Also, there is a Dogs 101 book, I think, that they have at discoverlsp.com. They have some other pet materials. Just go in and, search the word animal. One of the best animal desk references that I've ever spent the money on is the ADR by Dr. Melissa Shelton. And you can get that at www.animaldeskreference.com. It's the first one I got, and it's probably the best one. Although the Animal Desk Reference from Discover LSP is up there as well. They're both golden. So these are some resources. I want to thank you for sticking with me as long as you did tonight. If you're already a member in Young Living, I want to welcome you to our Young Living family. I love each and every one of you. I will stop this. I'm going to stop this recording and